Hello everybody, welcome to Bass and Bonsai. We are almost out on the water. If you can look, that water's still frozen a little bit. Not actually fishing. We are doing the cast test to end all cast tests, right? We're gonna shoot out. Well, let's throw you on the chesty and show you what I'm talking about. You may have already seen the live stream where I showed you the results to this, but this is the kind of inside look at what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, kind of stuff. But we are finally ready to put the mighty Zillion up against the, is it mighty? Is it as mighty as a Bantam? Or is it not, up against the Bantam, right? This is the older one. It technically does not cast as well as the newer one. They claim for two reasons, right? The spool isn't as capable, and the line guide, it needs to be moved out like it is on the newer one. Technically, in my opinion, it needs to be moved out even further. But anyway, what we're doing today is we're kind of recreating what the real test did when he shot out both the new and old Bantam and tried to do the Bantam and the frog on the frog, right, and the Zillion. So he threw 40-pound braid, first mistake. I know some of you guys probably use 40, 50, 65-pound braid for frogging and all that. No. I usually just stick with 15-pound test. Been throwing on a medium heavy for years. Kind of sometimes a heavy, a medium heavy, kind of on the heavy side. But what I've got now, 7 foot. This would be what for me personally would use as a frog, right? I got 7 foot heavy with 20-pound braid, and that's what we're going to throw this frog on. Now, I got a couple things in this video I'm going to show you. The main thing is we're going to see which one beats which throwing that on this rod, 20-pound braid. I have just enough braid on. You're probably going, dude, something's wrong with that reel. I have just enough to go ahead and fill it from where these were, and so this is going to get casted, and then that line is going on this. Now, what it'll let me do is we don't have a meter to tell. That thing's still stuck in limbo, right? Oh my God, stop calling me. So anyway, I'm going to cast this one, and we're going to see how far we can get on the brake settings. If you remember right, I was kind of throwing that funky worm and in the wind, and I've got the brakes kind of turned up. So we're going to leave this one turned up, see how far it'll go. Then I'm going to turn the brakes to where today will work, or with this bait, not throwing lighter baits. But we'll remember that we switch and try to remember the distances, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this reel. I'm going to basically cast this off, cut that line, and then retie it onto this reel, kind of like I do when I do the BFS ones, but on an empty spool, but leaving these spools like this. That 20 pounds, just enough. And I've already kind of cast this one, so I'll give this one a little more time, and I'll show you that, how I'm going to kind of get myself back in tune with this reel. But I'm going to cast it out, retie it, because I've already been out there. I can cast all this off, and roughly the end of the line is out to 7 foot of the rod by like a few feet. So however long that line is, and a couple feet more, and that's just with it still turned up. I haven't really seen how much further it'll go, and we'll try to count the winds to get back to this line, and also visible look and see which one's going the furthest. So two different ways that should let us know which one of these casts. This half-ounce frog, that's a half-ounce booyah, and I do have to, each time we're casting on water, so I have to each cast, when I come back in, make sure it is empty. If I don't, you guys remind me that one had water in it, and I may forget and cast one, and it may do something weird that the other ones didn't, and I'll have to remind myself. But anyway, you guys are going to see that. And if I get time, I got another video. What I also am going to do is I want to see two things other than that result. I want to see how far this reel and that reel will cast without being full, being almost halfway, right? I want to see, does that affect your overall cast distance with a frog? And I may even throw a chatterbait in the mix if I get time today. So we've got good weather, but we only got so long before it's going to start turning dark, and then cold weather within an hour or so. Because I also have another shootout I want to do between our BFS stuff. Be looking forward to that in another video. But what I'm going to do, regardless of how this ends up, how long it takes, towards the end, and that's the reason you saw the live stream, was basically me done with this, and then I'm going to show, hopefully in the live stream, this one casting just like this on this rod, or whichever rod, because I'm also going to try a rod, my 6.9 medium heavy. I'm going to shoot out with full of line and see if this casts. If a 6'9", basically if a medium heavy though will cast as far as a heavy, a half-ounce frog, because I'm curious. I want to know that. Do I want to keep this my frog rod, or maybe I want to go back to what I've always used in the past if I'm not going to gain distance, and then testing them over as the season starts. As soon as frog bite kicks in, am I missing hookups with this or that? So that's just something to be looking forward in the future. But anyway, buckle up, hang on, let's go hit the water. Okay, here we go. Whoa, it's a little muddy here. Everything's thawing out. I thought honestly it would still be frozen, but it's not. It's thawing out, it's frozen in spots. So I'm gonna try to use this. If you guys look, I'm gonna try to cast this way. I think we're down out of the wind too. There's a little wind high up. So from throwing that crazy shaky head worm, the setting is on 5. So that is definitely, I should be able to go down to 4, maybe even 3, but we're gonna leave it at that. So like say if you wanted to set it and forget it, you can go out in the wind even and throw in the shaky head. I'm curious to see where this is, and then we'll start with the, when we make it to the Bantam, we'll start there also. So I'm just gonna throw it, try to stick to that ice. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I bet might as well. All right, enough talk, cast, right? Boom, I hope I get that back. So that, if you guys remember right, what was I here? Was it the Arise and them I was throwing Chatterbaits? That's about as far as we could get with that. So I'm not going to take a long time doing that. I'm going to come right back down to 4. I should be able to throw it 4. So as you can see, definitely castable distances. I would have no problem getting out and fishing at that on the number 5 setting. So you don't even have to change it. We're just going to see how much more distance you gain if you get your, you know, maximum distance. Oh, that frog took a beating hitting going through that ice. So here's on 4. Oh boy, I may have to stop. No, it's a frog, so I let it go, but it totally missed the water. We threw all the line off about, I'm gonna guess, I don't know if you guys can make that out. I'll count the cranks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm guessing like almost, I don't know, 7 feet past. I'll check more once I get to once I make a cast that I'm not worried about it being hung up. Okay, should I go to 3? Let's just go to 3. I'm gonna try to make this quick. So I'm gonna try it on 3. Throw it hard as I can. Nope. 3 is out with the frog. So if you saw that, you can tell real quick where you can go. So go back to right on 4, and hopefully I can get this picked out. Because if there's one thing I forgot to bring, was more 20-pound test line. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Don't judge me. I didn't bring a fishing line, and I had to cut that backlash out. So anyway, we saw just how far. This is going to also show us how if there's a difference between the line or where you have to set the brake. So I'm back to 4. It didn't backlash on 4, fully spooled. It backlashed on 3. So now let me just get back to casting. So yeah, I would say that you can't cast as far on that setting anyway. So I'm going to go to 3 again. Oh my goodness, I'm running out of line. I do have the line that's on the Bantam before we even get to the Bantam. So let me just go to 3 to see. Okay, now we're back out there in distance, and I've almost thrown all this line off. But so yeah, if you are fully spooled, you can't go. So you can do it, you just have to, like, the brake settings are going to be different. Because it makes sense, right? Just like your higher speed deals where it takes more, you know, the spool has to rotate faster to let as much line out. So anyway, let me try that one more time. Okay, I don't know if you guys are seeing where that landing, it's throwing almost all the line off. So I'd call that, if you guys remember right, the chatterbait deal, you could get past the point to where you could see it, say, from the other side. So it's at least that far. I do not really want to go to 2. But that tells me that I don't really lose anything. So if you guys remember right, if I want to spool a spool halfway up. Yeah, I heard that flicker. I cast extra hard there. Didn't really gain distance, but I heard a flicker. I'm not even going to try two. Two will backlash, I'm almost positive. But so basically you can go one number. If you fill it halfway up with braid as opposed to full of braid, you should be able to go like one dial down from what you would normally be used to. So, and if you guys remember, that's normally what I was casting this at. Halfway full is number 3. So one more, and then we're gonna probably switch it to the other rod, try that, and then we'll get the Bantam its shot. So yeah, I don't really feel it hanging up at all, like, and that was, if you guys can make out the all that line, that's got anyway halfway full with 15 pound. So you probably wouldn't want to do that with 20 maybe, but I still plan on utilizing the whole halfway up. It slows down your retrieve kind of deal. So I'll be back. Okay, let me get back down here. Here's what I've done. I got this rigged up now on our 6'9" medium heavy. We're gonna see if it can get the same distances. I've also got the Bantam rigged up on the rod we just used, but I'm gonna set it down and get right out here to do this. I'm gonna leave it on 3. It should be the same for this rod as it is the other one, and I'm curious to see if I'm gaining distance or losing it or whatever by throwing it with that stiffer rod. You guys see that? Didn't throw, try that again. Didn't throw all the line off. I can't tell if the wind's picked up or not. That's why I was trying to hurry. That's why I went ahead and rigged up the Bantam. Since now we're dealing with, I'm not switching the line kind of deal to tell by. I think the Bantam may have a touch more line, or it holds more to get it to halfway kind of thing. Holds more line overall than this reel. I think, I'm not 100% sure. Oh boy, that was a line drive. Holy cow. Nope, it didn't throw at all, but it almost as far. Let me get one more. That felt like a very good cast. I can feel the wind. If you guys can tell, it's blowing on my back right now. And if you look right here, it looks like it's blowing sideways. And there goes a cloud. Let me try this again. There's a good cast. Okay, you know what? What is that? Like, not really. You're not going to lose anything. You're not going to lose. I think we've gotten to the point now with rods and reels to where, you know, if all your stuff you do have is functioning right and it's rated for around that bait, you're going to get max distance. Like, that's just all with the given factors of the wind. And oh boy, that one went. Okay, so yeah, I think the wind may have helped out a touch, but yeah, that was like insane. I could hear how it just loaded up. So number 3 with braid, and when it's only halfway spooled, and it doesn't seem to matter. This, I don't know if I can whip this one harder or faster. The medium heavy definitely makes me kind of want to just stick with this. It's more fun. I can still set the hook on some of the especially finesse jig, except for maybe the biggest jigs, just like I do the chatterbaits. Look at that little snap. Do not use a snap that little for that would be tough to even use for 10 pound, but I'm using it with 15 just because that's what I had. I'm kind of limited on what I got here today. I know I should have brought more. I just this was kind of last minute me checking the weather. Ooh, here comes the sun. It is definitely not cold out here. It's chilly, but man, when that sun goes away, it gets starting to get cold. When that sun's hitting me like right now, I can just feel myself warming up. Frog's still empty. Okay, now if you guys remember right, and I need to probably redo that one set on 5 and just see how far I can cast, because I was doing that with it full of line, and it seems like it needs to go down into breaking when you have less line. But anyway, 2 on, 2 off, set at number 3. I never did see how far this goes. I'm curious now. So it does go to 6. Let me make sure. 6, 5, 4. So set it back to 3. So that is basically halfway in the setting. And that's where it did good, and it liked that worm, that shaky head, 16th ounce shaky head finesse worm with the worms from Zinker or from Z-Man on it. And I really couldn't tell the difference. They were doing real good casting into the wind. So anyway, at that exact setting, let's see what it does now with this rod. Now I cast down, and that is way too overbraked. I can just feel it. You can just tell, like, woo, it's bogging it. So I hate to do this because I'll probably backlash, but I'm going to jump all the way down to 2. And so was the other one on 5. So these aren't really, especially when we're changing baits that drastic from a very finessey thing to a half-ounce bait, you have to turn the dial. So then how much do you have to turn the dial? So we're going to go to 2. All right, frog maybe filling up water. We don't care. We're just going to cast it, and I'll check it after. There we go. Okay, that seemed like it's still, I'm going to go just a few what I would consider clicks if this thing clicked. She getting out there now. Man, that thing feels, you know what? I can't really tell because I'm throwing to slight resistance. I got a chatterbait. I'm going to see if I can tell the ease of casting compared this to the Zillion also in this shootout thing here. That cast was pretty good. Oh, I cast way too high. It still landed, but it did it up and... So yeah, this one definitely holds more line, so we won't be able to go by that. What is that noise? I'm hearing something, but I don't know if it's a line. I think it's just a braid. I don't know what that noise is. All right, let me get a good cast this time. Hang on. Deep breath. Make sure the frog's empty real quick. Yeah, it's a couple drips may be fine, but let's see. Let me give him a little bit more line. It's still restricted. Still felt restricted. Should I go all the way to 1? I'm gonna go 1. That's probably halfway between 1 and 2. It is right there. It's not quite where the Zillion is, but it's close. And I think I still feel it sort of restricted a little bit. This thing may beat the Zillion, boys and girls, if I can get it there without breaking first. Oh, come on, frog. Really, we do not need... I don't want to have to dig a backlash out of a frog's ass. Come on. How many times can you wrap around that frog? That's why I run... I have it tied directly on. That's why I normally run... always use a leader. Always. Never a straight braid, in my opinion. Oh. I got nervous, but yeah. No problem. I think I cast down a little too far. Let me get another straight shot. What is that noise? I don't hear that. It's got to be the braid going through that ceramic. Uh-oh, hang on. Let me see. I had like a fluff up reeling it in or something. All right, let me check the frog one more time. Might have a touch of water, but no problem. Right there's where I think it likes it. It does have a different release. It's different than the Zillion on where you like let go. It takes a minute to get used to it. So here we go. That's a line drive. That is not going, it's going right close, but I got to figure out how to let go of this stupid thing. Let me get one more. Hang on. There. Maybe. Nope. I'm I think it's still restricted, so I'm gonna go all the way to 1. Screw it. All the way. Oh wait, that's all the way down. So 1 is the beginning. There's not a 0. Like 1 is all the way down on 2 on. So that may mean I need to go inside and only turn 1 on. And I need to do that anyway. I need to do it not out by the water's edge here. I need to do it up in the truck where it was falling something soft. Hang on, let me try this. Nope. It don't like 1 for sure. It likes 1 like about like the Zillion like 2 or 3. No, 2. Okay, yeah, 2 today was 2. Let me get this backlash out. Oh boy. There we go. So all the way down, definitely not a winner. Okay, let's see. Let me go back to, where was I at? In between? Yeah, I was in between 1 and 2, wasn't I? Here, let me try something different. Curiosity's killing me. Let me step back. If I lose this, I want you guys witness this. This is a video where I'm going to show you. Oh my God, hang on. This thing, Jesus. Make sure they're still, yeah. 2 on, 2 off. I'm going to turn 1 more off. So just 1 on. I know, I got to adjust it. Hang on. Hang on. Don't want to lose none of this stuff. So I'm going to turn these brakes all the way up. We're going to start over. So I'm turning them all the way up, but we only have 1 on internally. Now that should let me, oh boy, get out of there. That should let me get to a spot. This reel almost feels even freer out here casting. I don't know what that is. Okay, so all the way up or where it's right on 6. I should be able to cast as hard as I want, no backlash. Okay. Bam. First cast is like right there. So it almost tells me it almost maybe too weak. I'm not gonna go far, because when you do that, like when you only give it 1, you're kind of like, if it's in my opinion a brake setting setup that's right, it's basically like yeah, so I may not be able to get away with this. I'm gonna try it just a hair. I may not be able to get by with it like that. Where this frog and how I cast may be like right on its, where there's not a good sweet spot. Hang on, we'll find out. Okay, that's its sweet spot. It is casting the same. So I'm gonna go between 5 and 6 and try that. Somebody's smoking the ganja. I can smell it. Get in here. Yeah, you can definitely tell the difference when you fill one halfway up as opposed to when I was reeling that 8.5 to 1 Zillion in earlier. All right, let's try this. Don't backlash. There we go. I don't know if you guys can make out where that's landing. That sucker is not... You know what? I could actually walk over there. I could cast this as far as I could. I'd go get that other frog, cast the Zillion, and we could just walk and look and see where they're setting at. I don't think this is getting as far as the Zillion got. I'm gonna go back to 5. Do you guys see how much easier though it is with the Zillion? Now we're on 5. The Zillion's like 1 click, nope, click back, there, perfect. There's no other settings you can do to it other than the spool tension. Like it's just, choop. There we go. No, didn't go any further. I may have cast down. I'm telling you, I think that's just as far as that little froggy will go. With this 15-pound braid, half a spool, it's just where he goes. There we go. That's a good, nope. That point, let me go down to, there's 4.5 basically. I'm gonna go halves until we get to somewhere that either fluffs or scares me or backlashes and breaks, and then we're probably gonna put on a chatterbait and then just try it. There we go. We'll go to 4. That, it may be hitting right where the Zillion was. I don't know if you guys follow me though, as far as like when the real test talks about it, and no offense to him, I don't know, but he talks about that Zillion and being hard to set it to where you could get the max distance. You could see, other than that crazy backlash, because I went, you know, when I did go down, that it's there. I had it in no time. Now I'm still kind of figuring out where this one. I'm making changes. I keep dialing this thing down. It keeps landing in the exact same spot. I'm going to 3.5. I've went from 6. Well, I started out on the whole other 2 breaks on. I'm still not getting anywhere. I don't feel I've gained anything like with the, and maybe that's just what I'm used to, like breaks that, no, still right there. I bet there's a big old hole wallered out from me casting right in that same spot. Okay, we'll go down to 3. All the way down to 3 on the brakes. I'm gonna try casting more straight. There's kind of like the point, but then there's a grass edge out there, and I'm pretty sure I hit it. I didn't hit it a lot, but I hit it once or twice with the Zillion, and I can't get there with this. I'm gonna try 2.5. So, but they're like right there. You're talking, I don't even know if it's a foot or 2. Oh, there was a flutter. I ain't going any lower than that. That may have got it. That may have hit it. I'm not going any lower than that. I'm gonna make another cast, but I heard it flutter. So I'm gonna cast it. What is that noise? I heard another clunky noise. This thing feels so free. I think it's gotten freer. Like, it's insane how free this, cranking this. Now, there's no resistance that's coming across the ice, but man, that feels insane. There we go. She's singing now. Oh, there we go. I think we may have matched. I think it's a match. I'm going to try. I probably need to put back on this rod. I don't really want to. I'm gonna try it with the rod I had because I think they're about the same. So I'm gonna stop there. It's kind of getting whatever, but I'm all the way down. Now this is halfway spooled. All the way spooled, I would probably want to go back, probably even back to that number 2 setting and then dial it. But so I'm all the way with just 1 internal and 2.5 with half a spool basically of braid, 15-pound braid. 1/2 ounce frog, and it I would say that matched where this Zillion was getting on this rod. I think I matched it though with this one. So we're gonna find out real quick, because I know I can't change any of the settings. I'm just gonna cast it a few different ways hard and see if I can get right back to there real quick, and then we're gonna do something else or in this video, or I don't know what we're gonna do. My hands are starting to get cold. I may have to go in the truck and warm up and then come back out. So that was 7-foot heavy action Carbon Light 2.0. This is a 6'9" medium heavy. Let's just see what I can do. Let's just see. well, I throw all the line off and it's right there. Oh, I got one. Hang on guys. I got it. Oh, he got off. It was a tree pounder. He got off. Gonna need more braid. I'll be back. I'm gonna do another little shootout. Okay, everybody. I'm actually gonna end the video, but I'm gonna stay tuned and keep watching because I'm gonna go back out and just throw the chatterbait around a little bit. I might do a little quick distance if which one throws. I'm gonna throw them on both different combos. I'm gonna leave them rigged up like I had them. But as far as what I needed to find out, it's done for me. I think the Zillion, in today anyway, beat the Bantam by maybe a foot, but they were like, maybe not, maybe like right there. Like what I gathered from this, and if you guys, you know, I'm looking for a reel for chatterbait, right? Because if you guys remember, the Zillion does a little chattery noise when a chatterbait gets real close. Is the only reason that I wouldn't just keep using the Zillion. But the reel test in his results had the Bantam beating the old Bantam 2018, beating the Zillion by about a foot, and he said that it was hard to like set the Zillion up. If you saw right there, it's like the Zillion, if anything, I call the Shimano harder to set the braking, but maybe it's just because I don't fish Shimanos as much. The same way he doesn't technically, he's got them, but maybe he isn't used to just knowing like, okay, well, you're done, that's just where you go. So I found out real quick, it didn't like 3 fully spooled. It likes 3, you know, once it's half spooled. Same thing with the Bantam. It needed to go way down. Only could turn 1 brake on, and then where'd I end up at? 3.5, I think. 2.5, 3.5. I don't know. I have to look. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video. I saw what I needed to see. I consider we're at that point with rod and reel combos in general. Basically, the technology, like that bait is going as far as it's gonna go. Now, I would be curious. I don't think it would be enough for me to want to buy because it's a fishable distance. I go out like it's going where I want to throw as far as I want to throw any bait. So, but I call these 2 reels even for out and out distance. I'm still gonna when I get my meter in to read the exact, you know, for sure within inches, then I will do another test, put them head to head fully spooled with 20-pound braid, and we're going to redo the frog deal. But then I'm going to do on the same day, I'm going to have enough time where I can redo that, and then we're going to see how finicky as far as staging down through lighter baits, fully spooled, you know, down to what you would throw with 20-pound braid. Like, but you can throw pretty well a light jig with still a fairly big hook on that braid, like flipping and pitching. We'll try that out. So I think the Bantam's an awesome reel. If the new one does beat these 2, say these 2 are almost dead even within a foot. If the other one does cast 7 to 8 foot further than these 2, that is a casting machine. And they claim the MGL, sorry, not the MGL, the Metanium is even better than the Bantam, but I don't know. He hasn't put the new Bantam up against the newest Metanium or whatever. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go back out with what you just saw me out there playing around with the frog. I'm gonna go back out there and cast different ways, mess around with the chatterbait. I want to feel the resistance. Main reason I'm doing it before I jump to another video. I want to see the resistance feel on the 2 reels while I'm here thinking about it, because that Bantam does feel so free. But I want to check the Zillion and the hyperdrive against the Bantam and its drive. They claim the newer one has a different deal. But anyway, thanks for watching. My hands are about warmed up. I'm going to get out here. If you want to just call it quits, you don't want to watch me throw a chatterbait, that's your problem. Thanks for watching, guys. Get out, go bass and bonsai, but whatever you do, make sure you have fun doing it. All right, I totally forgot 2 things. I had totally forgotten, I'm over here looking around for my chatterbait. I'd put it in my pocket, so let's get this frog off here. We're done with you today, for today anyway. I forgot also I brought this thing along, so I'm gonna go right back out here, set to throw the frog, and I'm gonna throw these 2, and just, I know the rods are horrible for it, but I just want to see what distance we get real quick with this, like what they'll do. Will they backlash? Will they cast? How far? How light do you have to throw them? That kind of deal. So I don't know. Before I throw the chatterbait, I'm just playing around. It's a nice day. So we'll start with the, and I've actually, believe it or not, I've thrown a shaky head on this setup before. So let's just throw this gingerly and see what it does. A little fluff. I don't know if you guys can make that out. Let's throw it a little harder. But you could fish this. Like, I'm set. I was just throwing the frog. I could set here. I could zing it out. Sink, sink. You know what I mean? No backlashing. Come over here. Toss it right along the edge. If I catch a fish on this nasty thing, because it's still capable, the hook isn't really dull, but it has been beat up in the yard. But anyway, let's try a distance shot with it. No backlashing. I'm guessing, I don't know, I'm guessing that's half as far as we were casting the frog. Easily, so let me try one more. Then we're going to put it on the others. Oh, the wind caught. I saw that thing get caught. I would guess that at 60 feet. So I'm probably throwing a frog 120. Because I do have some wind. I probably could have went down more on the brakes if we were out in a wind-free day kind of deal. So we're probably not hitting what the real test was getting when he was doing the test. Maybe, I don't know. So definitely castable, workable, easy to do with the Zillion. So let's see what this bad boy will do, right? Let's see if it's as, now this rod may come into play a little bit here. But let's just see, oh boy, this rod is not going to be very forgiving. Oh, nope. Backlash. Backrash. Let me throw it lighter. I really didn't throw it hard as I could. But that may be the downfall to this this reel. Which, if it's just for chatterbaits, for me it'll work. But if it's a guy that's wanting a very, you know, real versatile, set it and forget it kind of deal, it is not going to be. I mean, you can set this to where you can forget it. Problem is, then you're going to have to sacrifice distance. You're not going to get the same distance. So let me throw it lighter. Oh no, I threw that light and it's still backlash. So that means I have to turn it up to throw this. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna throw the chatterbait. But yeah, so if you guys witness that, I think that's where you get a lot of guys and they're like, I think if you're a distance caster, you're a Shimano fan. If you're all around, basically what the whole SV concept system, everything is about, stress-free, versatile, right? Just get out and go fishing and not worry about it. It may be the deal breaker. So I know I should reset this to cast this again, even if it's on this rod. Now it could be a little something, but I'm not even throwing that hard. I'm not even really, I'm just throwing the weight. I don't know if you guys can watch how lightly. Like, I'm going to try to, like, look at that. I'm not even casting hard. And that thing, it doesn't have the weight to pull it. So it's set up real free with that one on. And it's just destroying it. Like, it's just not working. I already see that. That is not good. That shows me exactly why the argument basically for the SV, especially with the boost, I feel anyway, makes a big difference. You can get extreme distances, yet you can still finesse. You can play around. But anyway, I'm going to jump to this dude. Already had, look how many hooks he's got on it, or how many snaps. Comes with the snap. I have some little one rigged on, but we're going to rig the big one onto the big one, just in case we catch a fish. Now, we could catch a fish out here. So I'm going to throw, if I don't lose this on the first cast. Whoa. That thing went just, oh, got a fish. Now that thing went right almost as far as the frog right off the bat. Okay, enough playing around. Oh, I want to get something to get it. Look how that is just, that ice is just barely holding on by a thread. It'll all be melted. All right, so I want to check what I'm going to be doing with this, using it for chatter. Not on this rod. This is my jig rod. But it actually, I could use this. Like if I was using the Z-Man, and it'll work with jackhammers or these bigger hooks, but like the Z-Man Originals, I would actually probably love this 7-foot heavy. This rod would probably be an awesome rod. I would actually suggest it to you guys, maybe even over the 6'9" medium heavy. So let me just make a long cast, and I just want to feel the resistance. Because this is XG, it's 8-to-1, but it's only halfway full. And I may find that I actually like it with more line than I do the Zillion anyway. The Zillion I liked halfway full. Man, it just seemed like it worked at Chatterbaits good. Try a few. What I like to do is getting that where I feel I'm going slow, about as slow as I can, and it's still chattering kind of thing, and then pump it here and there. And I'll try to show you when I put it on the... Yeah, this thing is, I really need, like if I was out fishing, I need to turn up a little bit. I can see that spool wanting to get a little unruly. It's like, it is just so, I'm actually going to do that before I backlash and lose this chatterbait. So at 2.5, it threw the frog in it. I think it matched where the Zillion was, but I'm going to actually just put it to 3, see what it feels like. I may try that worm again. I'm going to put it to 3 and just see. But it feels good in hand. Palming, retrieve, feels very good. Yeah, that's a way better. Still feels free, but I'm kind of throwing, there's a slight wind, I'm throwing into the wind, I think. I thought I had a fish. Oh man, that was hung on something just for a second. Man, I thought for sure I had a big carp again. That ice is definitely melting. I'm gonna throw one more just straight out, and then I'm gonna put this on the Zillion. Nope, backlash, see that? Backlash. Why did that backlash? Oh, I know why. Duh, that was on me. I pulled on that stick and it dug itself in and made it backlash. Let's do this again. There we go. It is still cast forever, but it is right there. It's very freed up with that one on internally. Okay, one more cast before I switch to the Zillion. I'm going to throw this in the direction I was throwing that frog, but I do have it turned up a little higher than it was. Yeah, I could tell it from 2.5 to 3 shortened it by probably maybe only a foot or 2, but it did shorten it a little bit of what I think it would have gotten. Before I lose this chatterbait, I'm going to put it on my Zillion on my actual rod. I'm going to show you guys what the kind of the noise thing is why. But when I get, if you guys don't know, I got a steez coming. When it comes in, I'm going to try it on there and see how it chatters and see if I could live with that. So the first thing, I'm going to show you guys the chattering that before I lose this bait. I just know I'm going to lose this bait, especially with that little bitty hook. Let me make sure that sucker's clipped on. It's clipped on. You know what? Hang on. Should I? No, I was going to say I should run it through, tie it into that or something. No. You can probably hear it right here. No, I got ice. You guys ever catch ice? So set right where it was. Now listen. Hear that little extra noise? Now, it doesn't seem to be that loud. Like right here, you know, for a long way. Oh, something moved right there. I saw it swam up. I should be wearing my lucky bracelets in the truck. I could actually catch a fish today. Try it fast. I think it's just when I'm like in a hurry to reel in and cast again. Hear that? Let me try it right out here. I don't know why it's not as loud. All right, I'm gonna shoot. Let's see if this will go as far as the frog did. Nope. So I can tell I still got line left. Now this does weigh, this is a 1/2 ounce chatterbait. It's probably actually over a 1/2 ounce even before you add the trailer and then the trailer. So that's where that, it could be that rod, that 7-foot heavy is actually kicking it in. What did I end up on, 3 or 4? That's on 3. I almost wonder if I could, whoa. Oh no. Luckily that ice is so, I'm gonna have this. This is the only place, all that over there, this is the only place that's still frozen. What would you guys do if a bass jumped up and smacked that top water? Look at that, the whole, move that whole thing. And help it melt. I don't even know if it's supposed to get below freezing tonight. Maybe it is, but I was gonna say you could come out here. I could go fishing tomorrow. Not going to. Probably. I got a birthday party. Emerson's birthday. I know. Ask me how old he is. I don't know. It's a grandkid. Young. Younger than me. All right, we've accomplished kind of what we wanted to. Did I throw the worm yet? I don't think I threw the worm with this, or did? Yeah, I already did, didn't I? Yeah, let's throw the worm again. First of all, let's go to, no, do I want to try this on 2? I love this chatterbait, but I have a lot more in this color. No, I'm good with 3. 3 gets you way out there. It's not quite as far as we were getting with the frog. I think that may be the limitations on this rod. It's my chatterbait rod, but I primarily throw, I mean, I throw the 1/2 ounce, but I really like the 3/8 with a, if you guys remember right, the goat cut down some. So it's definitely a lighter bait than that. So a true 1/2 ounce, I couldn't tell the difference between this and the 7-foot heavy, but I may try that 7-foot heavy. I bought it for jigs, but I may try it with chatterbaits just to see what the hookup ratio is on it too. Because I do like the way it casts this one anyway. And heck, you know, I could be sitting there 3/8 rigged up on one. On this, 1/2 ounce rigged up on that one with the whatever, and you know, just living right? Let's try this again. I do think I actually, I hate to say it because I want butts to pucker, but I don't want Daiwa fanboys butts to pucker. I may like the way this thing feels like it retrieves the chatterbait easier, if that makes sense. The gearing on it, even the handle length are the same, 90mm handle, same knobs. I'd almost feel like there's a less resistance fill. I don't even know how I would measure that. I just almost feel like I have more power, which I guess maybe I do if this is a, I have to check inches per turn kind of thing, and I think they're filled about halfway though, but it's 8-to-1 and that's 8.5-to-1. But I would almost swear, I do not like how cold my hand feels on this. I can feel all that metal in this kind of weather. No. I'll be honest, if I get out fishing for a day and it's cold, I probably would pass and use, I'd probably honestly use the Accurate, because it's all plastic, all the sides. I ain't gonna lie, this whole setup right here feels good with this bait. Like I feel more comfortable throwing this 1/2 ounce chatterbait, and the pull and the feel, everything just feels I like it a little better. I ain't gonna lie. So that tells me I need to at least get out and fish it like this. 7 foot. Heavy action. That carbon light though, they have a different flex than a normal, they're just different. And I feel that thing that makes them different makes them very good for like everything. They're good for, and I'll have to check hookup ratios. They're definitely good for a jig. I've already used this one with the jig. Why do I keep letting that much line out? Maybe it likes that much. Let's try it. Nope, it's not getting as far as a frog either with this. Getting up there, but not as much as with the frog. I did turn it up though, didn't I? Let me turn it back down. 2.5 is where, but yeah, no, I'm gonna leave it. 2.5 is just too, you can watch it, like, you can watch this starting to rise here and there. It's like asking for trouble. The Zillion on 3 right now, like you can just watch the line when it comes off, it's coming off like that. This one's coming off, and every once in a while it's doing that. Like you can just tell once you get to that, you know, where the line is on them. I'll try to show you a close-up here. Actually, I'm gonna put on 2.5 and try to show you that. So there's 2.5. And I'll try to show you what I was seeing. I don't know if you can see that, but every once in a while it doesn't just peel off, it jumps, and that means like you're asking for trouble, in my opinion. A breeze, something catches, that could easily backlash. You're like right on the, you're too close to the verge of the spool outrunning your line. So that's what, in my opinion, three's a safe bet. 3's on this with the 1 on is like 3 on my Zillion. It's, you know, I'll just show you. I'm not gonna cast, that's not as hard as I can cast. It hits the ground. I mean, technically, did it backlash? Yeah, but it didn't really backlash. It just had a little bit overrun. It got out there within, I could maybe squeeze another, I'd be lucky to squeeze another 5 foot trying hard and loosening the brakes up and all this and that, but it's like right there. The trick to these is then when you go to this, you know, if you start changing stuff around, then you gotta, like, it's not as forgiving, I guess. If you guys witnessed that in this video. So I'm gonna wrap this up also, guys. I'll see you later. I'm gonna stay tuned. I'm gonna come back with a whole different video, basically different AliExpress reels or spools, basically throwing this worm and seeing what we can do. See ya.